Hey, how's it going? It's Callie T here, and as some of you already know, I love playing video games, but some of my favorite RPGs I feel like no one has ever played. Sometimes I think that some of these games are probably like underground or like hipster-esque, and I think to myself like, man, am I that kind of gamer? Maybe these games just suck. To each their own. But then I'm like, nah bruh, like some of these games I know people have heard of, it's just that they've never played them. On the off chance that I do meet someone that's played like one of these underground games, they somehow automatically have some of my respect, like even if they didn't like it. And when I meet the majority of people who haven't played any of these games, there's a part of me that's just like, why? And then there's a part of me that's just like, oh, you haven't? More for me. So today I'm presenting my top 5 RPGs that you've probably heard of but never played. Or maybe you've never heard of any of them and hence you've never played a single one of them. In that case, this video is a win-win for you. Per usual, my lists are not in any kind of like hierarchy. They're just some of the games that I like that fit the bill. So let's just get this party started. Number 1 is a game called Flower, which is this one right here. So a lot of people know of its successor, which is a game called Journey, where you basically go on a journey, you know, about discovery in a desert. But anyways, back to Flower. Flower is a game developed by That Game Company, where the story is told without the use of words, but instead with sound, cinematics, and the way you actually play the game. You start off in a sullen room in an apartment in a city where there lies one plant. You are then drawn to the wilting but vibrant flower, and it is there that you begin your tale as a single petal in a field of green, where you then begin to float about helping other flowers blossom while gaining more petals along the way, until you basically turn into a giant tornado of petals, discovering new parts of your surrounding areas. I know that at first glance this game doesn't seem like much, but what makes this game such a standout to me is that it's such an emotionally driven game, and what I mean by that is that like everything about this game elicits an emotional response. Every visual and every musical cue aids in this effort, some more heart-stirring than others, but I never found this game to be mind-numbing or boring. It engaged me and my emotions in a different and unique way, and I highly recommend this game to anyone who is interested in having a different kind of gaming experience, with an amazing musical score to boot. Number 2 is Odin Sphere, and I cannot say enough about this game. Like, this game is a visual piece of art. Like, I could probably take any frame within this game and just hang it up somewhere. Like, it's just that beautiful. And just like, what the heck? But anyways, Odin Sphere is a 2D side-scrolling action RPG that uses a beat-em-up type of battle system, which I found to be a really good choice because it's a style that many different gamers can easily adapt to. The closest game I can compare this game's format to is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, where you essentially play multiple character storylines and you see how they all overlap and intertwine with the main storyline. Except I find Odin Sphere nowhere near as repetitive as Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. In the beginning of the game, you start as a girl named Alice, who's in her family's attic where they store a lot of books and things. Her cat, Socrates, knocks down a book called Odin Sphere, and you begin to read it. In the world of Odin Sphere, there's a huge war going on between all the nations, and all for the item called the Ring of Tetrel, said to control the most powerful weapon in existence, the crystallization cauldron. You get to play as a character from each nation, and the writers of this story really did a good job making you feel and clearly understand why each nation wants this power. You first play as Gwendolyn the Valkyrie, daughter of Odin, next Cornelius the Puka Prince, Mercedes the Fairy Princess, Oswald the Shadow Knight, and lastly, Velvet the Forest Witch. You can bad end in this game nearly 20 times, and I speak from experience. And there's only one true ending to it, so yeah, make sure you actually pay attention to the story or look towards the internet when the time comes. So if you like games with excellent storylines, fantastic visuals, and you don't mind the beat-em-up combat system, give Odin Sphere a chance. Number 3 is Ni no Kuni, and this is one of those games like I admittedly went in with like pretty low expectations. Like, I didn't think too much of it at the time. And holy cow, was I clearly mistaken for just pushing this to the back burner. You play as a young boy named Oliver who lives his daily life in a small town called Motorville, and through a series of quite the unfortunate and just downright tragic events, he is greeted by a fairy. Yep, that lantern-looking jelly bean is indeed a fairy. And he is spirited away to another world on a quest to save his family. And that's really all I can say without entering into spoiler territory. I found that the world of Ni no Kuni was very well developed and so much fun to actually explore. Like some games I'm just like, just get me to the next location, please. But I loved how each new place was its own character of sorts and had its own charm. I also really enjoyed the battle system. It's kind of like a mix between real-time and turn-based, which I really enjoy because there's some semblance of going into battles with some type of strategy and not just like spamming the buttons, you know? I like the mix, and the battle system reminds me of the Tales series games if you've ever played any one of those. If you were getting the Studio Ghibli vibes from this game, you wouldn't be wrong. The animation sequences and character designs for this game were handled by the Studio Ghibli team, and the music was done by longtime Studio Ghibli partner Joe Hisashi. If you've ever seen a Studio Ghibli movie ever, you have heard his music. The story is actually pretty deep and made me tear up in a couple of places. I totally thought the story was going to go like one way, and then it like completely flips the script, leaving you like gobsmacked, being like, what? Huh? This is good. Even if you're not a fan of RPGs, I would still recommend this game to you. Like, this is a solid game. If you're looking for a great storyline, charming characters, and just an overall good time that will keep you entertained for hours, look no further than Ni no Kuni. Number 4 is Child of Light. If you are a fan of RPGs, and I'm assuming you are if you're watching this video, this game should be in your arsenal, hands down. Child of Light is a story set in 1895 Austria about a young girl named Aurora who finds herself waking up in a mysterious and forgotten fairy tale land of Lemuria. She is told that the only way for her to return home is to defeat the Queen of Night's dark creations, which will ultimately help save Lemuria and help Aurora herself in ways she can't even begin to comprehend. This game has art like Odin Sphere and has a well-balanced real-time and turn-based mix like Ni no Kuni, and the storyline is absolutely fantastic and charming with its Shakespearean iambic pentameter, which gives it an even more fairy tale-like feel to it. One thing that I really did enjoy about Child of Light is that it gives you some pretty amazing abilities early on, like flight, which made me want to check out the side quests along the way, and it wasn't really something that I had to like backtrack to do. Child of Light is a pretty short game that you could beat within 12 hours, but the developers really used that time wisely, making sure that your gaming experience is nothing but a fun ride. This RPG to me, even though it's very minimalistic, should be the bar that RPGs at least try to attempt to achieve, just in like overall quality. And I'm not even trying to like overhype this game, like go play it and you will see what I mean. And finally, number 5, The World Ends With You. This is one of those games where I feel like it was just developed way before its time. Like, this game probably came out like what, about like 10 years ago now? And you could imprint memes into people's heads back then. I'm just like, you know, I just got nothing but love for this game. Nothing but love. The World Ends With You starts off with this kid named Neku waking up in present-day Shibuya with a timer on his hand that is ticking down. He is immediately forced into a situation where he must make a contract with a peculiar girl named Shiki to fight off the shadowy creatures called the Noise. She then explains that they're on a different plane of existence called the Underground, and in order to survive and make it back to the real ground, they must complete the set tasks sent to them on their phones before their timer hits 0, or else they'll be erased. If I could describe The World Ends With You in one word, it would just be cool. It just has this consistent and grounded sense of urban Shibuya street style with its character designs, background, and the music. Oh, the music is so good. The combat system is a bit unique since you'll be using both screens for battle, and depending on what actions you equip, even the microphone. The overall storyline is great, and to fully unveil everything, you'll have to play the game twice, but they definitely make it worth your time playing it again. And to my surprise, I'm glad it never ever felt like a chore during my second playthrough. If anything, I'm happy with all the additions and challenges they made for your second playthrough, so it wasn't boring. I was so happy with this game when I completed it. Like, I didn't think it needed like a sequel or like anything like that until they freaking announced a new 7 days. And I'm just like, Square Enix, don't do this to me. They have not officially announced a sequel for The World Ends With You, but Nomura did state, yes, the same Nomura that does Kingdom Hearts, since this is game 2, that another installment of this series was not completely off the table, which I am completely okay with, but they certainly do like playing with a girl's heart, sprinkling little children in Kingdom Hearts. I'm just like, I mean, they deserve all the notoriety, but there's a part of me that's just like, oh, my babies, wait, they're gone. Why? And that's a wrap for this video. Thank you so much for stopping by. I truly appreciate it. As always, have you played any of these games that I mentioned, or are you thinking about picking one of these titles up? Well, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And stay tuned for more anime and video game-esque stuff coming your way. And hey, if you like this video, please let me know by hitting that like and subscribe buttons. And that's it for me. Thank you again for sharing a part of your day with me. And I hope that the rest of your day is outstanding. Until next time! Now I'm off to play Persona. Let's do it.